Okay. So the body, the mind, the intelligence, and the soul. This is a subtle journey. So nowadays you must have been seeing this very wonderful poster coming out, and people are saying, if you cannot go outside, then go inside, right? So people are saying, if you cannot go outside, cannot go inside. How do you go inside? So how do you go inside? This is what is explained in the Yoga Sutras, the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. How to go inside. So outer journey is all about body and the senses. It's already outside. But what is inside is the mind, intelligence, ego, and the soul. So the Yoga Sutras and the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam, they deal with, the Bhagavatam deals with more topics, but the Yoga Sutras and Bhagavad Gita, they deal with the following topics. First is the three modes of nature, Prakruti. So Prakriti means nature, your body, your mind, your intelligence, everything is based on the three modes of nature. And what I will do as we go on, I will explain this, I will try to explain this in a beautiful presentation point of view. So this body, our body, our mind, all this is consists of the three modes of nature. Our body, our mind, the entire universe is combination of two things. One is the body and one is the mind. So one is the body, one is the soul, the body, mind, so that is called a Prakriti, and there is the soul. So the soul and matter, if you put it in two words, we are a combination of soul and matter. And the Yoga Sutras exactly deal with, and the Bhagavad Gita exactly deals with, the Bhagavatam exactly deals with soul and matter. So the soul we can see is spiritual in nature. Matter. So what does this matter consist of? It consists of three modes of nature. If you understand the three modes of nature, because the entire Bhagavatam, the entire Bhagavad Gita, the entire Yoga Sutra, this deals with how to come to the mode of goodness. How to come to the mode of goodness, how to go beyond the three modes. These modes control us. That is the first aspect it says. So there is the soul, the three modes, that's it. It covers the soul, and then we get this body. So how to go inside? Yes, you have to purify the three modes. You have to come to the mode of goodness. So the entire Yoga Sutra, the entire tapasya, the entire spiritual life is all about how we can come to the mode of goodness, how to purify our existence, how to live a yogic life. A yogic life means to come to the mode of goodness, remember. So Bhagavad Gita also deals with how to come to the mode of goodness. Why should we come to the mode of goodness? So mode of goodness means knowledge. Mode of passion means material desires and unending desires and activity. And ignorance means depths of material suffering. So it explains that by the practice of yoga, we have to come to the mode of goodness. Then what happens? We realize we get the power of discrimination. So we have something called as intelligence, spiritual intelligence. This spiritual intelligence is only sprouted only in the mode of goodness. So please remember this. The three modes of nature, the first topic we have to understand. Now let me go to the next topic. What does it deal? This I will explain. This is a little difficult to understand. So that is creation. The entire Yoga Sutra, the entire Bhagavad Gita, and the entire Bhagavatam, they deal with the creation. This is a little, it's a little big picture. I will try to make it a little bigger here. It's a little, this creation, it's very important to understand creation. Because if we understand creation, the reverse of creation is samadhi. For example, we have this body, right? And we have the soul. So originally, according to the Yoga Sutra, according to the Gita, according to the Bhagavatam, we are the soul. We do not need this body. We do not need this body. So there is the body, there is the mind, there is the intelligence, we have everything. But first what happens? The soul does not have physical body. The soul has only the mind. For example, when we die, all of us will die. Everybody is scared of death today. So when we die, what happens is the soul is covered with the mind, what is called as Chittha. And this goes into the next body. So this mind goes into the next body. So it does not have a physical body in the beginning. It has only a subtle body. So the process of yoga begins with, can we use slideshow? Slideshow, I don't know if it will work with this, because I'm scared that it will cover the, it can work, yeah, okay. But it's a little small. This slide is a little difficult to explain. But I will explain the other slide. So this creation throughout 25 days, I have to explain step by step. But I will today try to explain it a little bit by zooming it a little bit. So let us zoom, so that will make it easier. Okay. Okay. You can zoom from your phone. Oh, okay. Yeah. So now let me see here. So creation means, for example, what happens here is that you see here, can everyone see this? So there is Atma and Pradhan. So material nature before, for example, you make bread. And when you make bread, first you have the dough. To that dough, you add water, salt, whatever, you mix it, and then you get the dough. And then, according to your intelligence, you can make it into bread, chapati, or anything. Similarly, first, this material body, for example, our body, when we die, this body, when you burn, it is just ashes. Now I have hands, legs, but when we die, it is just ashes. So this is like a formless body. A formless body in one sense, but it has shape now, it has form now, it works now. So in the beginning, there is no shape or form to the matter, but the soul has a shape and form, but it covers the soul. So that is the first step called Atma and Pradhana. There is a mix. And then gradually, there is these steps I will explain a little later. It's a little difficult to understand on day one. So there is cosmic intelligence, then there is mode of pure goodness. All this comes about. Okay, what is pradhana? Pradhana means your body, your mind, your intelligence, all your gross and subtle body. So when the creation at the beginning stage, at the very beginning stage of creation, according to the Yoga Sutra, according to the Bhagavad Gita, according to the Bhagavatam, there is the soul and there is soul and matter. And what is that matter? That matter is in the form of pradhana. It is in the form of pradhana. So there is soul and there is matter. So matter, before it becomes anything, it is called as pradhana. Before the matter transforms into anything else, it is called as pradhana. Just like I gave the example of dough, right? Chapati, white flour, wheat flour. So wheat flour in the beginning is just flour. So similarly, matter, before it becomes anything, it is called pradhana. Then this pradhana, then it forms different things. And then this pradhana, it goes into 4 stages of creation. If you understand these stages, then you can understand Bhagavad Gita, you can understand Yoga Sutra, then you can understand Bhagavatam. If you do not understand this, then you can have an understanding of the Bhagavad Gita or the Yoga Sutra. Okay, this is what it means, but the details of it will not be clear if you do not understand the creation. So my goal is with this book is to try and make this concept easier. Okay, so let me try to explain it here. So step 1, there is something called as pradhana. So matter and spirit, they mix. And who is mixing? So the next concept in the Yoga Sutra and in the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, it talks about Ishvara. It talks about Ishvara. It talks about Krishna, controller. So there is the soul, matter, and there is a controller. Because we are helpless in this body. We are helpless in this body. This body just keeps growing. We can't stop it. It becomes old. It dies. But who controls? The Yoga Sutras deal with Ishvara. The Bhagavad Gita deals with Ishvara. The Bhagavatam also deals with Ishvara. So this is the elaboration. In all the 3 books, it talks about these common factors. So why is yoga practiced? So that we can go within. So going back to our understanding. So we want to go within. Okay. Before I go any further, I would like to, what do you call it? Unmute everyone. And
नहीं देखो मैं तेरा बोलती हूँ कि तुम बुरा मानती हो आपने कैसे बोला सर
okay, one second. So my thing is I want to check if everyone is able to follow so far. You can either chat or you can unmute yourself and let me know. So everyone is able to understand so far. Is it going okay? 100%. Okay. Anybody else would like to give a feedback? I want to make sure that all of you are understanding. So yes. Okay. So all of you are with me.
Prabhu, one question before going.
One question before we go ahead. Yes.
So you said that Chitta. So Chitta is just a mind, or it just?
I will explain this. I will explain this as we go. Okay. Okay. So I will just. Yes, I would like to look at the entire slideshow. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to mute again, and I will go back to screen share and go back here. Okay. So now, if you see this creation, So step one, okay, step one, creation. The soul mixes, the soul does not have a body yet. We are still pure soul. And who is next to us is Paramatma, is Vishnu. He is standing with us. And matter is like the chapati dough. It is not yet become anything. Step two, this matter, pradhana, now begins to cover the soul. But still, the soul, the body has not yet developed. So the first step is you just cover the soul. That is called Hiranmaya, cosmic intelligence. Cosmic intelligence, buddhi. It is called buddhi. Then the third step, after this, so remember what we did in the first slide. What does matter consist of? Matter actually consists of the three modes of nature. And the three modes of nature, before they become anything, they are in their nascent form. They are in their nascent form. So matter in its nascent form. So pradhana means these three gunas in their nascent form. So what happens? Now, in the next step, Hiranmaya, cosmic intelligence. In the cosmic intelligence, it becomes, after the cosmic intelligence, the next step, if you see here, let me just move this a little bit. Okay, here. Now if we see Mahat Tattva, so Sattva manifests. So there are three gunas. Remember, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. So three gunas are Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Now, Sattva guna begins to manifest, pure Sattva. So in this state, till 1, 2, 3 stages of creation, the soul can look back. Soul is still able to see the self. Now remember one thing, in spiritual life, in spiritual vision, why we cannot see the soul? Right now, I know I am spirit soul. Right now, I know I have a mind, I have intelligence, but I cannot see my mind. I cannot see my intelligence, I cannot see the soul. Why? That is answered here. That is answered here. We should know why we cannot see. Why we cannot see? Because subtle sees the gross. Subtle sees the gross. For example, my senses can see my body. Okay? My senses can see my body. But my body cannot see the senses. My mind can see my senses. My mind can perceive the senses, but my senses cannot see the mind. You see? Mind is subtler. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Indriyani paranyahu, indriyebhyah param manaha, manasastu para buddhe, yo buddhe parasastu saha. And he is referring to this slide. He says, Indriyani. So, Indriyani paranyahu. So, there's one more message here. Okay, if ignorance, passion are material nature, then what is eternal nature of human beings? Yeah, I'll get to that. So the senses, so the body, so the senses are greater than the body. Okay. The mind is greater than the senses, subtler than the senses. The intelligence is subtler than the mind, and the soul is the subtlest of all. Now, very interestingly, we say soul is transcendental. Means soul is spiritual. It cannot be seen. It cannot be cut. It cannot be burnt because it does not have material dimension. So how do you see the soul? What is self-realization? What is the stage of self-realization? When we say we go inward, how do we see the soul? When you say you go inward, how do you see the soul? This is the question that is answered here. Subtle sees the gross. So up till the level of intelligence, intelligence can perceive the mind and can make a decision. So what we call spiritual instinct, intuition, all these things. So this is all intelligence. Mind, desire. Then there is the senses and the body. But interestingly, because soul is spiritual in nature, nothing, neither the body, neither the senses, neither the mind, neither the intelligence can see the soul. Neither the intelligence can see the soul. So how can the soul see then? Interesting question. The soul is transcendental. The soul can only see itself. The soul itself has the eyes, the spiritual eyes, by which it can see itself. The soul has spiritual intelligence. So whatever the body has, mind, intelligence, ego, the soul also has spiritual mind, spiritual intelligence, and spiritual ego, so that it can see, perceive, and work and act. But right now it is completely in a state of ignorance. I mean, it is forgotten itself. So that is called avidya. That we will deal later. That maybe in day 10, day 6, you will get to avidya. So right now in the manifestation, there is pure sattva guna, means passion and ignorance have not yet come. You have to remember this very clearly as we go through the Yoga Sutras. Why? Because as you come to mode of goodness, your senses become purified. Your mind becomes purified. Your perception becomes at a higher platform, at a spiritual platform. When your intelligence is completely purified, you are able to see both sides. You are able to see a reflection of the soul. You understand you are not this body. You understand you are spirit soul, but you are not able to get to that point. But when you come to the mode of pure goodness, like here, sattva, till this point, when you come to the mode of pure goodness, means in our life today, we are dominated by mode of ignorance and mode of passion. If we completely eliminate mode of ignorance, if we eliminate mode of passion and come to the mode of pure goodness, then you are at a very high stage of evolution. Means the mind and the intelligence are completely clean. And this provides the environment where the soul is able to awaken itself. That is why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is an incarnation of Krishna, he said, Jiva jago, Gaura Chandra bole. O soul, wake up, O soul, wake up. So waking up the soul. So this is the point of wake up of the soul. So till this point, the cosmic intelligence, pure sattva, the soul is still in good condition. Then something happens. The next manifestation for the soul is called as ego, ahankara. This is where everything starts to go bad. So ahankar. So what is this ahankar? So ego. Now the soul has forgotten its spiritual identity. So that is called avidya. Remember, the forgetfulness of the soul of its real identity is called avidya. There is a manifestation of ego. Ego is manifested. So what does ego? Ego means I am this immediately. Who are you? I am Mr. So-and-so. I am a policeman. I am this. I am that. But what is happening here? He is not able to remember that he is the spirit soul. So the point is, there is two types of ego. Two types of ego means he knows I am this body. Yes, we are this body temporarily. We are in this body. Like they say, there is a famous saying, that it is not that we are humans and we need a spiritual experience. No, we are spirit souls. We are spirit souls undergoing a human experience. You see the difference? People think we are human beings and we need a spiritual experience to go something higher. No, 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 no. You are spirit soul. You are undergoing a human experience. So, when the soul remembers, so the highest stage of yoga, highest stage of Bhagavad Gita, highest stage of Bhagavatam is when you get such a powerful intelligence that at every moment in your life, you are able to make a distinction between the soul and the mind. Isn't that wonderful? I am able to make a distinction that this is the mind, this is the soul. I am able to see what activity is good for the soul to wake up and what activity is good for the mind to drag itself down into material activity. So what happens is there is a ego which is born from this next step. So this ego is in the mode of ignorance. So basically, and this ego is of three types. First is called Sattva Guna, second is called Rajo Guna, and third is called as Tamo Guna, right? So the ego mixes with the goodness and produces the mind. So I tried to put a shape to that. This is the mind. Then in the mode of passion, it produces intelligence and the senses, working senses, and the senses of gaining knowledge. And in the mode of ignorance, so this should be ignorance actually. Ignorance, it produces the elements. It produces the, okay, we have somebody joining here. 1 second. So, so this ignorance, so there is goodness, passion, ignorance. So this now begins to manifest fully. So from the mode of goodness, mind is generated. So if you understand this clearly, the entire objective of the Bhagavad Gita, of the Yoga Sutra, of the Bhagavatam is to bring the mind to the mode of goodness. It is said when you come to the mode of goodness, most diseases go away. Most diseases go away. In the mode of passion, all diseases start to come. And in ignorance, it's completely diseased. But these elements and everything, so as you purify the mode of ignorance, mode of passion, when you come to the mode of goodness, these elements, they begin to purify. That is called as Bhuta Shuddhi. So Bhagavad Gita is all about withdrawal and purification. And the entire Yoga Sutra tells you that right now you are here. All your senses, body, everything is manifested, and the modes of passion and ignorance are pulling you down from your real identity as the blissful soul. It is saying, why go back to your spiritual identity? Why do you want to go back to your spiritual identity? Because this is not a real and permanent happiness. When the soul is awakened, you are in a real, pure, spiritual happiness. This is the real goal. So that is why when you understand this evolution, all the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, all the shlokas of the Yoga Sutras, all the Bhagavatam, it all talks about this. If you can understand this, what I could do is I could send you this picture. So if you would like, you can message me or I can send it to all of you so that you can see. This is from my upcoming book. I have some final modifications yet to make, but I could definitely send you this picture because this is very, very important to understand. Okay. So everybody is clear with this concept so far? So most of you, okay, so there is somebody who wants to join. Okay. Yeah.
But intelligence is higher than mind. So is it not that sattva has intelligence and raja has mind?
See, what happens is when you are covered by passion and ignorance, see, the thing is, the soul has knowledge, self-knowledge. What is the nature of the soul? Sat, Chit, Ananda. Sat means it is eternal. Chit means it has its own knowledge. So you can see two things, two sides. So the more you are dragged down in creation, okay, the more you are dragged down in creation, like you can see here, the intelligence of the soul becomes covered. The intelligence of the soul becomes covered. You are going more towards this side. But when you come to the mode of Shuddha Sattva, pure goodness, here, the soul begins to awaken. And at that point, knowledge from the soul flows into your intelligence, mind, body, everything. Everything is covered by knowledge. In the Yoga Sutra, he explains this is Viveka Khyati Aviplavo Hano Payaha. That is a saintly quality. That is a spiritual quality. When the soul is awakened, because the soul already has spiritual knowledge, this knowledge begins to flow. Where? Into your intelligence, into the mind, and from the mind into the senses, and then the body. So the soul, he becomes, so the highest gain according to the Bhagavad Gita, according to the Yoga Sutra, according to the Bhagavatam, the highest gain is not Siddhi. The highest gain is pure spiritual knowledge and realization. Not just knowledge, but realization of the self. Isn't it beautiful? So creation explains to you how we come down, how we develop this body. I was just writing the commentary to the second chapter in this book. And there I was reading how Yudhishthir Maharaj. So the example is given there, Yudhishthir Maharaj. So Yudhishthir Maharaj, he hears the news that Krishna has left the planet. Arjuna comes back from Dwaraka. Krishna has left the planet. Okay. And he begins to think now what to do. Krishna is not there. Similarly, he hears Kali Yuga has started. So immediately he goes to Himalaya. Then what does he do? It's very beautiful. He amalgamates, it is said, the senses into the mind. The senses into the mind. So the body is an extension of your mind. When your mind is angry, your body also begins to shiver, shake, right? Because mind is shaking. So the mind has your entire body, the picture of your entire body. Mind has the same shape like your body. I will explain all this in much more detail in the coming classes. Today I am only giving you a preview. It's a very deep topic. So the soul's knowledge, because of avidya, it becomes covered. So he gets this body. So these are levels, the intelligence, mind, body, senses, body. So the more they are impure, the soul's knowledge is covered. So when we come to the mode of goodness, gradually it's open. So the example is given. So what is the example given in the Yoga Sutra? Yoga Sutra, it explains that there is a farmer who has 2 fields. Okay, the farmer has 2 fields. Now in the 2 fields, there is his field does not have water, but in the nearby field there is water. Okay, there is a lot of water. Now he wants water in his field from that field. So what does he do? All he has to do is open the gate little bit, whatever the wall we call between the 2 fields. He just has to open it and let the water flow into his field. Mode of goodness is like that. So when you come to mode of goodness, it begins to open up the channel for the soul to give knowledge. You already have this knowledge. The soul already has this knowledge. It has to percolate into the intelligence. It has to percolate into the body. So because it has to percolate, you have to allow, you have to open. So what is that state of allowing the soul's knowledge to flow into the intelligence? That is the mode of pure goodness. Therefore, in the mode of goodness, your mind is like an in-between medium. So there is one side, there is the body, the senses and the body. On the other side of the mind is the intelligence and the soul. When the mind becomes pure, he reflects both sides equally. When the mind is impure, he is only focused on the body and the senses. Body, senses, body, senses. And like this, he goes birth after birth after birth until and unless he visits or he meets a yogi. He meets a devotee. He meets a spiritualist. And then what he does, he clears the mind. He gives you a peek into the spiritual knowledge. So either the knowledge is stored inside, the soul has this knowledge, he's waiting to, or some yogi opens up your eyes. So that is why we call him Guru. So in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Yoga Sutra and the Bhagavatam, the first verse of Yoga Sutra begins itself with surrender to Guru and gain this knowledge. So he opens, so either it opens up from the soul or the Guru gives you this knowledge. So this is the first step. One has to take shelter of the Guru and he has to practice yoga. Karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, bhakti yoga. So everything requires Guru. So Guru is not an ordinary position. Guru means one has to be qualified. He has to be a realized yogi. In the Bhagavad Gita, so our founder Acharya Prabhupada says that there is jnana and there is vijnana. Jnana means there is knowledge. Knowledge of something is fine. But you need vijnana, means realization. So the difference between a disciple and a guru, Guru is realized. Disciple knows. So coming back here, so this creation is a very, very crucial thing to understand throughout the Yoga Sutra, the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. And as we go through the Yoga Sutras, I will keep coming back to this creation. So today, if you get a broad picture, it is fine. And as we go on, and I link these sutras back, the Bhagavad Gita, I will link it back to this creation, because creation, you are going down. You are developing physical body. and you are getting grossly physically addicted. Whereas spiritual life means I am withdrawing, I am going inside, I am trying to wake up my soul, I am trying to connect to God. So this is a very, very pure, subtle, beautiful science. Okay, so the first thing that the Gita talks about, the Bhagavatam talks about, the Shastras talk about, it begins with the three modes of nature. So that is the goodness, passion, and ignorance. So if you can, we can too small. Okay, so goodness, passion, and ignorance. So when goodness, passion, and ignorance, so they are the ones in your body. Depending on your activities, you activate either mode. For example, if you come to Las Vegas, which mode you activate? Mode of pure goodness, right? No. When you come to Vegas, so we are activating mode of ignorance. We want to enjoy. I want to just let my senses go free. But then what happens? It hits back on the mind. So a yogi goes to a more place where there is mode of goodness. Or yogi goes to a forest, or yogi goes to an ashram, yogi goes to the Himalaya, because he wants a surrounding which is in the mode of goodness. If I am watching some violence all the time, just like these movies, so then I become violent, I become passionate and ignorant. So I have to see the clear blue sky, water flowing, right? I have to look at all these things. So anyway, so that is the, so first is the three modes of nature. Then it talks about the creation. Remember this creation today, I'm just giving you a preview. And as we go through every day, you'll see it more. It also talks about the mind. Can everybody see this? It's a very beautiful description of what kind of thoughts we have. So it talks in detail that our subtle body has, so these are all pictures from my upcoming book. So if you have any feedback, please let me know. I will try to make these pictures better. It took me hours and hours to make this. So our subtle body, our mind, it consists of, subtle body consists of mind, intelligence, and ego. Okay, and it is together like a small ball. So your soul is in the region of the heart, within that small ball. And the mind has 5 types of thoughts. This will be dealt with in a separate class, but in detail. But they are pramana, viparyaya, vikalpa, nidra, smratayaha. Now, a very important thing that the Yoga Sutra says, the Bhagavad Gita says, the Bhagavatam says that mind cannot be stopped. Some people think yoga means mind should be stopped. No, it is not about stopping the mind. How many bodies we have? So that is next topic. I'll come to that. So the mind has 5 types of thoughts. So the process of yoga is this, the mind always has these 5 types of thoughts. It will always have this. It will not change. You cannot stop it. They say the mind cannot be stopped. But you can purify these thoughts in such a way that these thoughts become favorable for the realization of the soul. And after the soul is realized, these 5 types of thoughts, that is what the soul works on. Okay, so these 5 types of thoughts, they are called klishta or aklishta. Klishta means when these thoughts are powered by desire to enjoy this world, desire for to be separate from God, then these 5 types of thoughts, they give negative result. So that is because of avidya. However, when the desire is for spiritual realization, then all these 5 types of thoughts, they give you a positive result. So that is why it says in the Bhagavad Gita, the Yoga Sutra and the Bhagavatam, all 3, they say the same thing. They say the controlled mind is your best friend, because you have 5 types of thoughts. You have 5 types. It is said you have 5 types of mind actually in one sense, which works in different ways. This, when you come to the Kaivalya Pada, it is simply mind-blowing how he explains the process of meditation in such a detail. How each thought works in the mind is simply mind-blowing to understand. But first you have to understand what are the 5 broad categories of thought. So these thoughts that are there, they, when powered by spiritual intelligence, they work for you. They give you self-realization. When they are not powered by the desire for spiritual liberation, they go against you. Okay? So it talks about the mind, it talks about the different types of thoughts and everything. Now coming to, it also talks they talk in detail about Ishvara. Who is Ishvara? Who is God? This is in the Yoga Sutra. Yoga Sutra is a theistic science. Yoga Sutra, he concludes, Patanjali concludes the Yoga Sutra by saying, Samadhi Siddhir Ishwar Pranidhanat. That perfection of Samadhi is only by Ishvara Pranidhana, is only by surrender to Ishvara. So you have to know who are you. You are the soul. Who controls you? Your wife? No. Who controls you is the Supreme Lord, Ishvara. So Isha means one who controls. So we should know who controls us, and what controls him is love and devotion. So Patanjali is very cryptic. So the Yoga Sutras, he understands, he gives, his name is Om. Om, sweet Om. Om is his name. But Om is who? Om is Krishna. Although in the Yoga Sutras, he doesn't reveal this very clearly, what is his form. He says his name is Om. But if you read Hatha Yoga Pradipika, Shiva Samhita, and all the yogic scriptures, it explains that within your heart is this beautiful form of Vishnu. Furthermore, in the Bhagavatam, in the place called Uddhava Gita, Krishna instructs Uddhava that this is the form when you meditate upon the smiling, beautiful form of Vishnu, the soul becomes completely satisfied. This is a very, very beautiful, beautiful aspect of the Yoga Sutras. So the conclusion is to achieve unending bliss. Is to achieve unending bliss and love. So it explains this. So, okay, coming back, you can all give in your chat. So far, you are able to understand, everybody? I hope everybody is it clear? So if you feel it's, and you are able to understand, please just give me a yes or no. So I can go to the next topic. So, and if you have, I'm just seeing the chat, some of you are saying yes, okay. Sri Malidipati ji said yes, Vibhu Sharma, Gagandeep ji, so is it, you're able to know?
Yes, I can understand it. It's
yes.
pretty good.
Okay. So I just want to make sure, because sometimes I keep going little fast. So, so I just, because this is a very beautiful concept, yet it's a little tricky. So I just want to make sure you're clear about it. And these are the concepts we'll keep building on. So anyway, there is, thanks to Shriman Trump, we are able to stay at home and study. So make the best use of this. The next thing that we have to understand, that we have 5 bodies. So this becomes the fundamental bedrock of the Yoga Sutra. So if you understand this, these concepts that we have spoken so far today, then when I speak about Bhagavad Gita, then when I speak about Bhagavatam, then when I speak the Yoga Sutras, you'll be able to understand like this. So these concepts are critical. He speaks about the Panchakosha. So Panchakosha means the 5 bodies that you have. So now going back to the creation. So the soul is pure. Now Pradana. So the soul is the first body. The soul itself is the first body. That is called Anandamaya. Subtle to gross. So Anandamaya, the blissful body. The soul has the Anandamaya, the blissful body. So that is the first body that I have given the biggest body, because Anandamaya means you are connected to the universal blissful sheath. The next thing, that when the soul comes down, he is covered with, there is the subtle, the soul is actually in a bubble-like thing. And that is in the region of the heart. What is that bubble? That is mind, intelligence, ego. But the first layer is intelligence. The innermost layer next to the body is the intelligence and ego. They are together, intelligence and ego, because intelligence reflects the soul. What is the job of the intelligence? It reflects the soul. The intelligence thinks I am, because it reflects the consciousness of the soul, the intelligence, because of ego, he thinks I am this body. He reflects the consciousness. So he identifies, just like you look at the mirror, somebody looks at the mirror and shoots at the mirror. But is he shooting you? No, he's shooting the mirror. He's shooting your reflection. He thinks that reflection is you. Right? But that is not you. So the intelligence thinks this is me. So what happens is, the soul reflects the consciousness of the intelligence reflects the consciousness of the soul and reflects it back to the mind and illuminates the body. And when this reflects back, because he is not able to see the soul, it's like I am trying to find the source. And because I'm not able to see the soul, I'm only able to see the reflection. I'm only able to see the body. Then he thinks, this is me. Isn't it interesting? You are soul, but the soul is giving the light, consciousness. The intelligence reflects this consciousness and reflects it to this mind. And the ego is in between. He's watching. Oh, this is me. He illuminates this body and he thinks, oh, this is me. Oh my God, this is me. This is easily perceivable. He thinks this is me. A dog thinks this is me. A cat thinks this is me. A tree thinks this is me. Because you can understand, there is the soul, there is the intelligence, he reflects it back to the body, it comes back to the body. These are very intricate but beautiful concepts. But when the intelligence understands, oh, this is not me, this is me, but I'm not able to see this me. So he sees with the intelligence, the real me. He sees with the intelligence. He's able to perceive. He's not able to see. The intelligence cannot see the soul. And when everything focuses on the soul, Vibhu Sharma. Okay. The Vijnanamaya Kosha is located in the heart center covering the soul. Where is Manomaya located? The same location. The Vijnanamaya, Manomaya, and the ego, they are all in one. The Chitta is mind, intelligence, ego. So they are one after the other covering like an orange. They are right there in the heart. So the mind, it is like a bulb. You put the soul in the bulb, you turn on the light, boom, it reflects. Each one has a distinct function. So what is the function of this? The soul is you. You are illuminating this body, but you are now hidden. And the intelligence, what is the function of intelligence? To discriminate, to see and make a decision. And that is why there is functions of intelligence. So that is in the first chapter, which we will see tomorrow. What is the functions of intelligence? What is the function of the mind? The function of the mind is to reflect and desire. Is to reflect and desire. The function of the prana, so this is the layer in the heart. So the soul, the Vijnanamaya, Manomaya. So they three are like a small bubble in the heart. So think about that. Okay. Then comes prana, energy. Pranamaya kosha, the energy. How is this energy felt? By the flow of air. So by the flow of air. So this flow of air. So this air covers the entire body. So what does air do? Air has two functions in the body. So what are the two functions of air? Number one is to transfer energy. Number two, you would be interested, you would be amazed to know, breath also transfers thought from the intelligence to the mind to the body. Prabhupada explains very beautifully. He says, a leaf on the ground, a dry leaf on the ground is shaken because of the flow of air. Right? Similarly, in your body, the body moves because of air pressure. It's all air. Right? Thought in your subtle body, the thought from the mind to the body is also the movement of air. It's very interesting. That is why when you stop the breath, you cannot transfer thought anymore. That is the principle of pranayama. When you are angry, how is your breathing? You are very angry, you are very fast. But when you are relaxed, you are so nice, calm. So it is said the breath and thought speed are related. Control the thought, control the breath. That is the yogic process. But the spiritual process, the higher samadhi process is control the intelligence, it will control the mind, control the thought at the higher platform. So that is called Buddhi Yoga. So this Yoga Sutra forms the circuit board to understand the intricate things which are later described in detail in the Bhagavad Gita. So then this prana, so body is an extension of the mind. Remember, if you are depressed, then what happens? You lose appetite. Right? Instead of eating paratha naan, you feel like eating just bland rice. right? You're sick, you're not good. If your mind is not good, you cannot digest, you feel depressed, you feel bloated. So whatever happens in your mind, so that is why they call it psychosomatic diseases. One of our clients, not our clients, patients in our yoga therapy, the first one was a bronchitis. He got severe bronchitis. Everybody asked him, how did you get bronchitis? So he said, my son died that day because of shock. His lungs got damaged. He got bronchitis. So what is it a reason? What is the reason for this? Psychosomatic. The mind affects the body. So the body and the mind are intricately connected via breath. So that is why the yogi, this bridge, this prana, when he controls, in the Bhagavad Gita he explains, which I will explain in detail in the coming classes. Apane juhvati pranam pranapanam tata pare pranapane samakratva pranayama parayanaha. So he says the air goes upward, called prana, goes downward, called apana, means it goes downward, it goes, clears your belly. Then samana, it digests in your stomach. That is called as the samana, the digestive air. Then there is udana, that balances your head and your body. That is called udana. It is in your neck. It is if you control this air in the neck, it is said you will never sink in the water. This is the yogic siddhis, 3rd chapter of the Yoga Sutras. So if anybody wants to go to the Titanic or cruise without sinking, then perfect your udana vayu. So these are so many wonderful things which are given, which are the byproducts of yoga. But the real product of yoga is to open up the door for the soul to give out its light. And of course, the last sheath, the physical sheath, is the physical body. And here I have given another way how you can perceive it. So you can see the first 2 layers of the body. So what I have put in the heart, so the physical body looks to be the biggest. So that is the Annamaya Kosha. The green one is the Pranamaya. So the air exists within the body, but it says the influence of this prana is 10 fingers around the body. Manaha, the mind, it exists in the heart. Mind, intelligence, ego, and the soul, they all exist in the soul. So this picture I have made, which represents the 5 bodies that we have. Is that picture, does that convey that meaning?
Oh, if you can give them names to that particular body, it will be very nice.
Ah, yeah, okay. Yeah, that I have given in the book, but today I was just in a hurry. I was just putting the pictures together. So, but that is how it is. So the 3 layers are in the heart. And the other 2 are the physical body and the prana. So these are the 5 bodies that we have. Okay. So, okay. So I would like to invite any questions or comments anybody might have. If you want, you can unmute yourself or you can chat, you can ask questions before we go ahead with the summary and the Yoga Nidra. And this is what we will meditate on. I want you to meditate on this. How? So we will do like a thought-wise meditation. And that's what the book is all about, how to come to the point of meditating on the soul and Supreme Soul.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare
Can
Krishna.
you please re-explain the last slide?
This one that I'm currently showing?
Yes, please.
Who is this? Gagandeep?
Yes.
Okay. So Gaganji, so you see the red body. So the red body is your physical body. Okay. Now your physical body is called as Annamaya Kosha.
Okay.
It is made up of food.
Okay.
What holds this body together is called as Pranamaya Kosha. And that is within you. Your air is within you, right? You can see the green one?
Yes.
So the air circulates within this body. I have to tell you something very interesting. Prabhupada says madness, sickness is all because of blockage of air. When this prana becomes blocked, it restricts the movement of air to the brain and it causes madness, lack of intelligence. It is all just pranayama. So he says pranayama can cure so many things. It's amazing. And this is in the Bhagavatam. So the air remains inside within the physical body. So that is why until your physical body is very strong by asana, to actually circulate the air as per your desire, to do pranayam, to do deeper pranayam, you have to do asana to strengthen the physical body. Then comes pranayams, the green one. The blue one is the mind. So the senses, the body and senses, they act. And the prana, the green one, that collects the information. The prana collects the information and gives it to the mind within the heart. The mind reads the data from the input, from the body and the senses. It gets the input and the mind then gives it to the intelligence. Mind desires. So when I see, when a kid looks at, like my son, he's 1.5 years old, right? Whenever I pick up any glass of water or something, he will say, oh, for me. First is for him. What is that? He doesn't know. If it's hot milk, he wants hot milk. If it's water, he wants water. So they see immediately and they want it. Correct? So they see, they want. They see, they want. So similarly, the job of the mind is to collect this information immediately as soon as it sees. The root cause is klesha. So if the mind is spiritually purified, what is the source of communication from chitta with soul? Is it prana or something else? Okay. So, so I'll answer that. So the mind is getting that input from the prana by the medium of prana. So it acts like a medium between the body and the mind. So the mind has the information. So that is, as I answer this, you will get this. Can you please explain connection of the soul with the controller and love? Okay, so that is as we are going. I will explain it. So now we are going to that point. So both those questions will be answered. What happens to other bodies? Okay. So good question. So now the mind is getting this input, and what the mind does, the mind picks this up and gives it to the intelligence. Here you go. This is my desire. My dear intelligence, what about my desire? Can I fulfill my desire? So then intelligence, depending on the knowledge it has, the memory it has, right? When you watch this, who wants to become a millionaire? So you have several options, right? To find the answer. Phone a friend, right? Or ask or do a vote. So either the intelligence depends on its memory, its knowledge, or it tries to ask somebody. So that is why when you have guru, when you have a doubt, you ask guru. So the intelligence does the function of discrimination. So what should I do now? I have to discriminate. I have to develop the power of discrimination. So that's what the intelligence. So mind gives it to the intelligence. Intelligence discriminates based on the spiritual knowledge it has. And sure, Prabhu. So, so depends on the discrimination that it develops. So the intelligence, it gives the mind an answer. Okay, do this. That requires the intelligence should be strong. And then within the intelligence and the soul, right? Between the intelligence and the soul. Now what happens is the connection between the intelligence and the soul doesn't need prana. Okay, so this is the question there by Sriji. Prabhu, what is the source of communication between Chitta and the soul? Is it Prana? Right? So if you look at that, the consciousness which is emanated by the soul, right? The consciousness, of course, the intelligence, everything works with the prana. The intelligence, mind, all of them, they work because of prana. And they become active. They become active in the body because of prana. So, however, the soul doesn't need prana to communicate. The soul is self-conscious. So this consciousness is reflected within the soul, which is working in prana. So between the soul and intelligence, it is only the soul's consciousness, right? The soul has a special spiritual energy. So that is, what do you call it? So that connection, that subtle connection is the consciousness. So he's perceiving it wrongly. The soul doesn't need prana to see the intelligence. The soul doesn't need this thing. But the intelligence, to reflect the soul, it needs prana. So I hope that answers your question. The soul is itself has what is called as the spiritual energy. So just like sunlight, for the sunlight to reach here, the sun's light is enough. But we need air. We need air to see that light. When there is vacuum, we cannot see sunlight. Sun can give the energy. So similarly, soul's light is always there. But the intelligence needs prana to communicate with the soul. The soul is giving that light, and that light is converted, that consciousness is converted into perceivable energy by the intelligence because of prana. The soul, the intelligence might need that, but the soul doesn't need. So it is like the soul is sending the energy, the mind needs to interpret it with the prana. So does that answer you, Prabhuji, Sri Prabhu? And Vibhuji, connection between the soul and controller. Okay. So the connection between soul and controller is as follows. So this body is, this body has a certain pressure. Okay, this body has a certain intelligence. This body has a certain level of health. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Dehamashritaha. I am sitting in your belly as the fire of digestion. So he controls your digestion. So he controls your everything. So what he's basically doing is he is giving you the karma. So he's basically giving you the karma. So he's a neutral observer. Where does the false ego come in? How does false ego interfere in communication with intelligence? Okay, good question. So coming back to the point, the soul desires, and the relationship between the soul and Paramatma is man proposes, God disposes. The soul can desire, means the mind is desiring. The soul has outsourced the job of desiring to the mind. So mind is desiring. Now to fulfill that desire or not depends on the karma. So the super soul, the Paramatma, is also sitting within the heart. He is watching. So should I give him this karma or not? Should I give him this result or not? He's the one who decides. He's the one who decides. The relationship between the soul and super soul is that of guru and disciple. He is the Chaitya Guru. And he is full of knowledge, Ananda. He is eternal, full of knowledge, full of bliss, unlimitedly. And by taking shelter of him, the soul realizes his true nature. The soul realizes his true nature. Karmic information resides in the Chitta. Yes. Your karmic samskaras from all your previous life, that resides in the Chitta. That resides in the mind. So the relationship between the soul and Supreme Soul, that is why there is Super Soul and there is Krishna, Parameshwara. So there is Ishvara. So the only thing that Patanjali doesn't talk about or touch upon in the Patanjali Yoga Sutra is that of Parameshwara, in detail that of Krishna. So that is why Bhagavad Gita deals with much more detail about Ishvara and Parameshwara. Because there is a difference between Vishnu in the heart and Krishna, Ishvara and Parameshwara. Bhagavatam deals in complete detail about Parameshwara, about Krishna only. So that is the difference. So there is Yoga Sutra, higher than that is Bhagavad Gita, higher than that is the Srimad Bhagavatam. But if you follow yoga, if you see Gayatri chanting in Rig Veda, it only talks about pranayama, because by pranayama you purify the thought, because prana is the one that carries the thought from the mind to the body. When the prana is pure, the bad thoughts are completely gone. It purifies the mind of all these bad thoughts. So pranayama is a process of purification. The airs are a process of purification. And by doing pranayama, after that you chant Gayatri. Pranayame viniyogaha. So that is why Krishnamacharya goes on to say in the book Yoga Rahasya that Yoga Sutras, practice of yoga is nothing but bhakti. It is Vedic bhakti. So it's very deep, very wonderful to understand. And okay, so that was the two more questions there. Where does the false ego come in? How does the false ego interfere in communication with the intelligence? So the false ego, false ego gives, so the intelligence reflects. So intelligence reflects the soul. And when this light is thrown on the body, so ego is the mirror. To the degree your ego is big, the ego reflects on the mind, and the mind thinks, who do you think I am? Because when the light of the soul is reflected in the intelligence, it first goes through the ego. So ego is in between the intelligence and the mind. And after the physical death, the three bodies will get transferred to next birth. Yes, it gets transferred to next birth. So I will elaborate on that. So the intelligence reflects this light. So that is why to the degree our ego is purified, our ego remains, we become humble, the pure light is reflected on the mind. And the mind is able to see, oh, this is pure light. But to the degree the ego interferes with this light, he thinks I am this ego, this is me. Who do you think I am? So the ego jumps in between the intelligence and the mind. This is very beautifully explained in Sankhya Karika. So Sankhya Karika, it says your senses, body and senses, they work, they desire, it is appropriated by the mind. The mind gets the input. The mind passes the desire to the next level. What is that? Ego. Then the ego thinks, I am the owner of this big company. I should go only to this place. If I want to eat ice cream, I have to go there like a king. I have to do this. So all these thoughts are because of the ego. And before it does that, and after it does that, it passes this desire mixed with the ego. To the degree your ego is, your desire is also up or down, then it gives it to the intelligence. So then the intelligence, depending on if it's purified, when the intelligence is not purified, it is called lusty intelligence. When the intelligence is purified, it is called pure intelligence, buddhi. And then it gives the decision back to the mind. So the ego is in between the intelligence and the mind. And as we do the Yoga Sutras and the Gita and the Sutras, when we begin to unpack, you will see the play between the guna, between the intelligence, between the mind. It will be so interesting. And then you'll be able to watch your own mind on your day-to-day basis. So what happens to the subtle body? So after the physical death, the three bodies, will they get transferred to next birth? Exactly. They do get transferred to the next birth. And because of that, we say Purva Janma Samskara. So from last life, whatever samskara I have, whatever type of mentality I have developed, I carry on to this life. So that is called as Purva Janma Samskara. So who desires? Is it the soul or the chitta? So right now, see, the soul's desire is spiritual. Soul cannot desire material. The soul, only thing the soul does is one time, that I want to be separate from Krishna. And when the soul then hands it over, so then avidya, because of that avidya, he gets it to the body. Now the body, the mind identifies with the body. So like I said, the mind's function is to reflect and desire. So it is to reflect and desire. So it has outsourced the function of desiring to the mind. So the soul right now is inactive. It has outsourced its function to the mind. When the soul becomes active, then when the ego is completely purified, the mind is purified, then the soul activates its spiritual desires. Right now, the soul is inactive. It has its spiritual desires and it's inactive. It cannot change its nature. But it is like the soul is watching, it's like watching a movie. A movie is not real. But we watch the movie and think it is real. It is just like a dream. You think it is real. But when you wake up, you realize, oh, this is just a dream. So the soul is watching this movie with this popcorn, thinking, oh my God, what is happening? What is happening? What is happening? So the soul is watching right now. And he is thinking, this is me. The soul is confused. In the sense, it is because of avidya, ignorance. But when the soul wakes up, it's over. He realizes, Hare, this was all just a dream. So that is we call awakening, spiritual awakening. Then everything material becomes, you become very forgiving, peaceful, everything. Why? Because you realize this is all temporary. This is all over. So whatever you have performed in all your lives, the mentality, and it is said, whatever you do, even billions of years ago, in your whatever birth you were, all that samskara remains with you. They are there in your mind, they are inactive. So that is why anything can pop up. If you do not practice yoga, after some time what happens, these samskaras begin to sprout. They begin to give you the result. So we have to be very careful. Anything can pop up from any birth, any millionth birth that we have had. Okay. I think that answers that question. When we die, Annamaya Kosha gets destroyed. Yes. What happens to the other bodies? So the Annamaya Pranamaya is gone. The Pranamaya Kosha pulls the body. The prana leaves the body. And it is said there is a, what happens when you die, 101 channels open up. How does the soul reach somebody's body? In the next birth, so there is a channel. We cannot see it. And according to that channel, it is either taken to hell or heaven. So there are, if Yamadutas, if you die, if you have to go to hell, then Yamadutas come. They come with Uber, or not Uber, they come in Buffalo. They pick you up, right? So similarly, if you have to go to spiritual heavenly planets, so then you are picked up in a different way. So these channels take you to the next body. You are taken to a higher planetary system by some pathway. So the prana powers it. You go through that. 101 channels open in front of you when you are about to die. And one channel opens up, which is your destination. The soul, poop. Your body is here. The rest of it, poop. It gets into that channel. It travels all the way and go to your next body, but your mind, intelligence, ego is carried. Brahma's body is only mind, intelligence, ego. He doesn't have gross elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, he doesn't have. He is mind, intelligence, ego. That is all. So that is pretty much it. There is lots to share, but we have many more sessions coming up. We are just starting up. This is start. So I hope this was very interesting. So I'll shorten the Yoga Nidra for today, but we'll try to get this meditation. I want to do that at the end because we want to meditate on the soul. I want this to be both philosophical and practical, and practical also. So you can either do this both ways. You can either lie down and do it, or you can sit down and do it. So if you lie down, then lie down with your legs and hands apart. But if you want to sit down, you can just sit straight with your back straight. And the most important thing what I want to do in this Yoga Nidra, it will be effective only when you are able to relax. So we want you to relax, calm down, and give a few minutes to meditate on the soul and super soul. So whatever I am talking here, we are going to do a meditation on that. Okay. So the first thing is, like I said, your breath connects your thoughts. So if you focus on your breathing, your thoughts sublimate, they calm down. Okay. So the first step of Yoga Nidra is to breathe. So how do you breathe? The yogic technique of breathing, when you breathe from your throat, very deep, nice breathing. You see the sound? So basically you are breathing, but you are pulling the air from this part. Nice, deep, calm breathing. Deep breathing. Yes, Ujjayi Pranayama. Continue with this breathing. Deep breathing. Now continue to breathe deeply. Inhale. As you do deep breathing, you will feel a calmness in this area. Exhale. Inhale. Slow. Slow, like you are saying. Inhale. Exhale. You see, slow. The slower you breathe, the calmer you become. The faster you breathe, your mind gets more agitated. Slow. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. What should be the stomach movement, inward or outward? I would say when you breathe, you try to do the upper abdomen. And the lower abdomen, you try to take it inside when you exhale out, when you try to throw the... So we don't focus so much on the belly. I try to expand the chest area, the lungs, because when you get older, your lungs should be strong. So when you breathe in, you try to expand your chest, the upper abdominal area. Takes a bit of practice. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, exhale your chest nicely. Now we will focus on the body parts, from beginning with the feet, then the hands, and then the body part. Later on, as we go on with this Yoga Nidra every day, later on we will learn about chakras, we will learn about the superpowers, and we will meditate on all of them. It will be a beautiful Yoga Nidra. Just focus on your breathing, and throughout the Yoga Nidra, meditate on your breathing. So you can close your eyes or just focus on the breathing. Deep breathing. And we will start with 3 times Om. Either you can hear when I chant or you can join me. Inhale, then Om. You chant Om when you breathe out. So you do a deep breathe in, and when you breathe out, you do the Om. So breathe in and out deeply. Now the principle of Yoga Nidra is when you breathe in and out deeply and you meditate on any part of the body, that part of the body relaxes. So when you breathe in and out deeply, as you are doing, continue, as you are listening to me, continue your deep breathing. And when you meditate on your legs, thighs, hands, stomach, body, that part of the body relaxes. So let us meditate on the different parts of the body. Meditate on your legs now. On first beginning with all the toes of your legs. Breathe in and out deeply. You will get better. Today is the first day. Just try to meditate on all your toes. Feel all your toes relaxing. Continue to breathe deeply. Meditate on the soles of your feet. Feel the soles of your feet relaxing. Now gradually meditate on your heels. Ankles. Calf muscles. Feel both your calves relaxing. Knees, thighs, buttocks. Just touch your forefinger and the thumb. Just touch it. Don't press it. If you just touch it, this is Chin Mudra. You will feel your pulse if you just touch it. Now keep it on your knees. Continue your deep breathing as you are listening to the instructions and meditate on both your palms. Feel your palms relaxing. Feel your pulse. Back of your palms, wrists. Both your forearms, elbows. Biceps, triceps, shoulders, shoulder blades, lower abdomen, upper abdomen, belly, chest, neck, chin, lips, cheeks, knees, nose. Continue breathing deeply. Ears, eyes, cheeks, both your temples, eyebrows, in between the eyebrows, the Ajna chakra, forehead, top of the head, back of the head. Now breathe in and out. Simply meditate on your breath for the next 5 breaths. Feel the movement of your chest. 2, be aware of your breath. Body is relaxing. 3, body is relaxing. 4, and 5. Now gradually meditate. Keep an entire picture of your body, either you are sitting or lying down, whatever position you are in, keep it in the mind. Meditate on that position in your mind. Breathe in and out deeply. Breathe in and out deeply. Feel the mind relaxed. And as you breathe in and out, imagine on the subtle body what you have kept in the mind that is fully relaxing. That is completely relaxing. Now gradually bring your attention to the lower abdomen. That is where the energy begins to flow up. All the airs, chakras. Gradually meditate. Lower abdomen, belly, upper abdomen, chest, neck, chin. Gradually come to your heart. Meditate on the heart now. And what we learned today, this breath connects with the mind in the region of the heart. Meditate on the mind like a beautiful bubble in the heart. Our thoughts depends on the 3 gunas, goodness, passion, ignorance. As you breathe deeply, as you calm down, as you purify your impurities, you get to the mode of goodness, get to the mode of pure goodness. Then the intelligence is able to reflect the soul purely. Meditate on a brilliant light within the region of the heart, within the mind. That brilliant, beautiful light that is you, the soul. And next to that beautiful light is the super soul, Paramatma. Meditate on this beautiful form of Paramatma within the heart. Meditate on His presence and become fearless within the heart. Meditate on this beautiful complex connection that He is maintaining within the body. He is recording every activity of yours, every endeavor of yours. The process of yoga is to turn all these vrittis, these thoughts, for pleasing Him, the soul and the Supreme Soul. Gradually meditate deeply on your heart. Very soon you will be in a state of joy, meditating on this beautiful soul, and that is the goal of this entire process of yoga. To become free from these modes, to be detached and free from all the disturbing thoughts of this body. Meditate on this beautiful soul. Once again, we will chant 3 times Om. Meditate on the heart in between your eyebrow points also. Om. Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And let us end with a prayer. Om Asato Ma Satgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Mritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. May there be peace and may there be happiness. And now open up your eyes, relax, and you will feel as you meditate on this knowledge that is so deep. And we will do this every day for the next 25 days. And we hope all of you get the wonderful benefits of this spiritual knowledge and you are able to go to a higher platform. And I would like to firstly thank you all of you for joining. Second, please join me back tomorrow, same time. If you want any change of time, you can chat, you can let me know right now. If you want any change of time, if you think morning is better or earlier is better, or any later time, earlier time, please bring your friend. If you have liked this, please bring your friends for tomorrow, and also join and bring more friends and share this on your Facebook or WhatsApp. And I want to benefit as many people. So please join us. And I'm really grateful because by sharing knowledge within me also, this knowledge grows. I'm sharing this so that not only all of you are benefited by this, by all of your grace, I am also benefited. So we have a long journey to go. So today we put these basics together. So tomorrow we will start with the Yoga Sutras. So I'm going to draw a parallel with the Yoga Sutras and the Bhagavad Gita. So I'm going to put it together. So please join tomorrow. And like I said, if you have any feedback for timing, I'm also going to just share my number, WhatsApp number, to everyone. So, okay, can everyone see, or what is this? Okay, here, okay. I think it's, I think I should select everyone in meeting. So I just went to one person. Yeah, so this is my number. So this is my WhatsApp number. And if you have any questions, comments, if you have any change of timing or anything, please let me know. And how I could improve this, any feedback, welcome. And I'm also sending in my email here. I'm sure many of you are on my Facebook also. So we want you to understand this knowledge deeply and share this knowledge also. I've recorded this session. I'm going to upload it on YouTube also. And so thank you once again very much. And I will just stop this share. And if some of you could come on camera, that would be nice before we say bye. At least I could see you face to face. In this way, see your blissful faces. And I hope everyone is benefited. Yeah, I can see everybody is looking fresh after the Yoga Nidra, right? Right from Toronto to Seattle to North Carolina, Texas, and yeah, too much is from Texas. Yeah. So thank you once again, and I will see you all. Yes, in Hawaii also. Okay. So thank you all once again, and I will see you again tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.